All right, so if you clicked on this video and you are trying to figure out what's slowing you down. I'm assuming you're either someone that's just getting started and you're trying to figure it out, or you maybe somebody who's been playing for a while and maybe you've hit that like that glass ceiling and you don't know how to get past it, and it's probably as frustrating as all get out. Well, in this video today, I'm going to show you some things that are probably slowing you down. As a matter of fact, there's probably three things that are causing you not to progress. We're going to jump into it in this video. I'm going to point them out, show them to you, and not only that, I'm going to show you how to work on it, how to change it so you can begin to see the progress that you want to see in your own plan. So let's jump right into it. So number one is not understanding context. Now, I want to preface this by kind of sharing a story with my background, not getting too deep, but just kind of giving y'all some context from where I come from. I did study music early on in my career. In college many moons ago. Dr. Cass Patrick, I was doing guitar studies with Dr. Cass Patrick. Now, I come from a background where we learned to play primarily just, as old folks say, by ear, playing by ear, being able to hear the music and learn it from listening to it over and over and over again, not really having any formal training. That's how I come up. So you got a little kid that's probably 19, 18, 19 in college. I'm in this guitar studies class, was probably a little older than that by this time. I think I was about 20. So I'm in this guitar studies class with an amazing guitarist and jazz teacher, jazz instructor, whatever. So Dr. Cass Patrick, he's teaching me in these one-on-one lessons. And the things he's telling me are going over my head. I mean, I have no clue. Every now and then I might grasp a few of the things that he's saying. And keep this in mind, he's a very great teacher. Now, I want y'all to stay with me on this. Very great teacher. He's been doing this at this point for probably 20 years plus. So he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. I'm just not getting it. I mean, I can play. Good musician at that time. I wasn't phenomenal, but I was a good musician. I could play. I understood music. I just couldn't figure out what he was talking about. And so he would teach me these things, and I couldn't get them. Some of the stuff, again, I picked up, but I couldn't get them. Over time, though, after I left that college, it's like one day it clicked and I got it. And I started figuring it out. And here's why I didn't understand it. Again, I give you guys my background. I'm coming from understanding music where we understood like format of songs. The best I knew as far as theory, we called out notes. So if we was playing in church, because my background was in church music and understanding blues music. So if we're playing a standard church song, I'll give you an example of what we're playing, like congregational songs. And then they say, all right, we're going to be in the key of C. This little light of mine, for the sake of example. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Like structure without me playing that whole song and singing terribly this morning. You know that whole structure of the song, and so you just follow. And it's one of those things, you either knew it or you didn't. But the question is, how do you know it? Well, you knew it from listening to the music for years and years and years. And most of those songs followed a certain structure. Just like, if we were playing, like my uncle, we would sit down and play a lot of blues. My uncle played guitar, and we would just sit down and play a lot of blues. And you knew if he went to A and he's playing blues, like you knew that was the structure for playing blues. It wasn't like rocket science. It was a simple structure. Well, getting with Dr. Patrick, and he's calling out all these different things like, yeah, you're going to play a dominant seven and then you're going to arpeggiate. Like, I had no clue what he was talking about. And so again, it clicked after a while. And I'm saying all that to say this. It wasn't because he was a bad teacher. It wasn't because he didn't know his stuff. It wasn't because, he should do it this way, he should do it that way. No, it was because I just didn't have enough context. But the more time I spent with the music, and let me throw this in there, I didn't say anything in terms of trying to challenge him in the classes. I sat back and I listened. And as much as I could take in that moment, I took it in. The rest of it, I took home and I tried to figure it out over and over and over again. And I think nowadays we miss context because we don't have enough of the context because we haven't spent enough time with the music. So, what can we do about that in terms of understanding more context? That means you have to live with that music. These concepts that I was learning and context that I was learning was in a jazz type of context. Maybe if we were talking gospel, we were talking blues, it would have clicked a lot quicker. But I was new to jazz at the time. So a lot of those concepts that he was teaching for me were foreign. I didn't understand it. So sometimes instead of challenging the teacher and challenging somebody that's trying to give you these concepts or coming on these videos and challenging people, maybe you need to spend a little bit more time with that particular music, and it's going to help you to better understand context, number one, for what you're talking about. So let's keep moving through this, and we'll dive in a little deeper with this stuff. All right. Number two, I'm going to get on some toes on this video, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm just kidding. But number two, you know too much. I will say this is one of the biggest things that I've seen with musicians, especially older musicians that I've taught. And why do I say older musicians? And I'm not trying to pick on you if you're an older musician. But the problem is that, like the old saying said, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I don't necessarily believe that 100% wholeheartedly. I think it has everything to do with the mindset of the dog. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to call nobody a dog on here, but all jokes aside, it has everything to do with the mindset of the person. If you're coming into it with the mindset that I'm going to be a student and I'm going to absorb as much as I can and just set all of my little quote unquote knowledge to the side and take it for what it's worth, then I think you can learn a lot better. Oftentimes, students that I've taught over the years, or even people that I've known over the years that want to go back and do this and want to go back and do that, it's like what they know get in the way of what they could learn. Like all this information that, well, I know you can do this. I know. And I've heard in the business world, as I studied business and listened to a lot of quote unquote gurus and people who have already had major success in areas, I've heard them often say, the worst thing you could say to someone when they're trying to teach you something is, I know, or I already know. Because what you do then is you shut off the flow of information of things you could possibly or potentially learn because you already know. And I've been in lessons with people, and I'm looking as a person that's on the other side of where they're trying to get to, and I'm looking at their playing, I'm hearing certain things, and I'm critiquing. And I'm giving them feedback of, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that. Well, I know, and I got to do this, and and it's like when they give you that kind of feedback, it's almost nearly impossible to help them move further along because they already know everything you're going to tell them. So if it's something you already know, in your mind, you've already done all of this, then that's hardly anything you're going to be able to do to improve. The last thing I said when I was taking those lessons with Dr. Patrick all those years ago was, I know. Now, I didn't know. I was very aware of the fact that I didn't know. And maybe that has something to do with the fact that I was young and I was kind of still new, especially to jazz guitar. I didn't know. I didn't know. And I didn't know what I didn't know. I have some people that's like, I know what I don't know. No, you don't. It's like an oxymoron. There are things you are not aware of, and you don't know what all those things are. So if you have the opportunity to be in a one-on-one with someone and they're giving you the things maybe you're not aware of, maybe there's some things about your playing that you're not aware of. In the moment that somebody exposes those things to you, now you have to be challenged with, well, am I going to challenge them on what they're saying, or am I going to sit back and assess what they're talking about and see if there's any truth to it? I'll give y'all a practical example. I was in the studio session, professionals, all of us, we're in a room, not, the remote recording that I usually do. We're all sitting in a room together. This is years ago. And we're playing and I thought we had a really, really good take. Well, this is an older producer, engineer. He's like in his late 60s or maybe early 70s at the time. He's been around. He's played and heard the best of the best. So he tells me after we finish this take, he said, "Brother Jermaine, that was a pretty good take, man. But in this next one, can you try to stay a little bit more on the grid?" I'm like, what you? I was like, what do you mean on the grid? I knew what he meant, but what he was saying is I wasn't staying right there on the click. Like sometimes I would be rushing, sometimes I would be pulling the groove back too much. So he was asking me, could I stay right there on the grid? Now I had an opportunity there to either challenge him and try to, I'm Jermaine. I know how to play on the grid. I've been doing this for you. Like, or let me check and see if I am rushing it. Because here's the thing. All he had to do was just play it back to me. And he did. He played it back. We listened back to what we had did again. And I heard what he was talking about because I was open to his criticism. I was open to his critiques. And I heard what he was saying, and I was able to go in and correct it. Again, on that second point, you know too much. Sometimes we just know we're right. And I get people in my comment section a lot. It never fails with certain videos that I'll get a long comment, and chances are it's from somebody who just knows and just knows that I should be doing this, I should be doing, probably like somebody will do on this video, that knows I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And, oftentimes the people who stumble across these videos, you have no idea who I am. You have no idea that I've worked as a professional for many years, because I don't talk about that here in these videos. I just try to show you something that I feel like it will be helpful for you. And I don't try to go and read off my resume and why you should probably listen to me, because some of y'all might, why should I listen to you? But I've been able to do things and done the trial and error and have the experience and work with certain people that I've been able to kind of refine and hone this craft for many, many, many years. And again, you don't know who those people are. Maybe some of y'all do, but you don't know that I worked on certain things. Maybe some of the things you've heard on the radio, you don't know that I played on it. But that's beside the point. The point is, when people leave these long comments and they're basically trying to teach me, I'm like, bro, you don't even understand. I've done this already. Like, I don't know everything, but I know what I'm talking about here. So instead of challenging me, take the meat, spit out the bones. There might be something valuable that I'm saying that could save you 5, 10, 15 years. But because you know so much and you're in such a challenging mindset that everybody is wrong and you're right, you can't figure anything out. So I'm going to get off of that one, because I could spend the whole video on that one, and the fact that I've seen that cost people many years. They never progress because they know everything. And it's like, chill out. Take the meat, not just my lessons, whatever you stumble across. If somebody's even in your band, assess what they're saying and see if there's any truth to their critique to your plan before you just try to fire off and just assume that everybody is wrong and you're right. All right. So number 3, overthinking and overanalyzing. Overthinking and overanalyzing. Instead of just actually doing it. And again, this comes back to my older musicians sometimes, because especially if we've had a few years in this thing, we know. And so we figure we got to do this and got to think and like, just do it. It's like, just like the Nike slogan, just do it. Here's what I'm saying. My daughter is now 13, and she plays the keys, and she's been playing, been coming along for a few years now. But I listen to her practice, and she's gifted, but she has to practice just like everybody else. She has to learn. If you've been here for a while, you've heard me talk about her. She has to learn just like everybody else. Same thing with my son. He's learning the drums. And it's funny, I was showing him a beat on the drums just the other day, and it was a little complicated. And I said, can you do it? He's like, yeah, I got you. And so I'm like, all right, come on over here and play it. So he sat down on the drums and he started trying to play the beat that I just played. And he's like, oh, wait, I was trying to, I thought it was like, and so I said, just play it. And so he kept trying to talk, and I was like, no, just play the beat. And so little by little, he started getting it, but he didn't spend all the time trying to explain to me well, it's this, and I think you got to do it this. It's like sometimes we spend so much time in the details when we should just do it. Same thing with my daughter. She's sitting there learning songs. I may show her a chord or two, and like, okay, this is what we're doing, and we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. And then before she has time to talk too much about what it is we just did, I'll start the song. And maybe some of you guys might be thinking, man, that's a little harsh. If she's trying to learn, well, sometimes here's what I learned. Sometimes you can stagnate yourself by over obsessing over the details. Just do it and figure the details out later. And again, I know that type of talk and that type of teaching may not be something that you're familiar with, but you'll be all right. I'm not trying to be rude, but I do want to be helpful. And I think there are so many people who are stagnated because you're looking to make too many excuses. You're over analyzing everything instead of just doing it. And here's a practical way you can do that. When you take a song and you don't understand all the theory of the song and you're transcribing this song, not necessarily notating what you're doing. If I pulled up a random song right now and I just started to listen to that song and take it piece by piece, I shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't overthink it. I just hear what they're doing and try to repeat what I just heard. That's all I'm talking about here. I hear what they're doing, and if I didn't catch it all right away, I slow it down. Not literally going in there and slowing the thing down. This is what I mean. Instead of taking a full 30 seconds of the song, I might take the first 10 seconds. And so like if they did this at the beginning, I have a song that starts that way, by the way. But if they did that at the beginning of the song, well, I'm going to slow down and figure out what they did. So I might stop right there. Okay, what is that? So, well, I want to know what they just played. So I want to slow that down. So once I get that, I'm going to figure out what they did next. Right? And so you might just play stop, figure out what that was. And I'm going to keep doing that little by little. But here's the problem. Most people don't want to do that tedious work because it's not the way we're being accustomed to think anymore. We want it just like everything else, super fast. We want to do it super fast. That's not how music works. Now, there are ways that we can learn it over time and we can get super fast and develop our own systems of learning. But in the early stages, or if you're trying to work your way out of a rut, there's this thing of just sitting down and doing it. Stop concerning yourself with how long it's taking. Just do the work. Just simply do the work. Spend the time, slow it down. If you have to go back 40 times just to get the intro, go back 40 times and get the intro. Because here's the thing that will happen over time, because I hear some of y'all in my head. Here's the thing that will happen. Well, I don't have all this time to sit and spend, hours and hours learning songs. Here's the thing I can tell you from experience. After you do it, especially if you're somebody who hasn't spent a lot of time doing these things, after you do it for a little while, it becomes much easier. Now you'll find you don't have to spend hours learning songs. You can listen to something, you can pick it up. Oh, okay, cool, I got it. It's literally that quick, but you have to develop your ear to that point. Stop talking, stop overanalyzing, stop trying to come up with all these things. Stop trying to figure out the theory of everything right out of the gate. If you're not a person that theory is like something that comes super natural to you, or you just get it by theory. Like sometimes your theory can be tripping you up, trying to figure out all of the this and that. Now, I'm not saying don't know basic theory. Please understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't try to understand basic theory. Yeah, some basic theory is required for you to get it quickly. So don't miss what I'm trying to say here. But I'm saying trying to overanalyze things sometimes slow you down instead of just sitting down. Because to me, and I know everyone learns differently, the theory comes in my repetition of doing it, especially if it's something that I already know. I'm like, oh, okay, all this is this right here. But if I just go ahead and jump right into it, dive right in, kind of like being at the water and everybody else is just diving in the pool and you keep sticking your toe in, 40 minutes that went by and you still ain't swim, like just jump in and you'll figure it out a lot faster. Again, these are my opinions based on what I've experienced, based on what I know many accomplished musicians have already done. And you may disagree, you may agree. Let's talk about it in the comments. Again, I know this video, the way that I presented this today, I know I'm going to get some comments that are going to be interesting. And it is what it is. I expect nothing less, rather, than somebody to try to challenge me in the comments. But I guarantee you, if you try these three things, or look at these three things that we've talked about today, and go back in your own time and assess, what are you doing? Are you doing one of these three things? Are you doing all of these three things? And if you are, maybe this is the fact, or this is the thing that's actually slowing you down, not allowing you to experience the success in your playing that you would like to experience. And I would challenge you, see which one of these things you can start adjusting. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, but today. I challenge you, I dare you to just take a random song you haven't heard before and start learning it. I don't care how complicated it is. Make yourself start learning it. And here's another tip I'll throw out there for free. This wasn't in my notes to mention today. But the more difficult the song, the faster you're going to move forward. No, it sounds like an oxymoron, but the more difficult the song you try to stretch and push yourself to learn, the faster you're going to start moving forward in areas of your playing. And when I'm saying the more difficult the song, maybe it's a jazz song. Maybe it's something that you don't typically play. Maybe it's the gospel song that has the crazy lick that you're like, yeah, I ain't learning that song because, this person did that and I can never do that. That's the thing that's slowing you down. Assuming you can't do it because you know too much. You already know, I know I can't do it. No, you don't. You don't know what potential you have. And if this is feeling some type of way to you, you'll be okay. And I'm saying that not to be rude, but I'm challenging your subconscious thought, because you have to move beyond that negative talk and beyond that already knowing that I can't do this. Most people are stuck at their limitations simply because they keep talking about them. They keep expressing, well, I can't do this. Hush, just try it. Just try it. I know this is a different version of me for some people, but it's an honest, and not that I'm not always trying to be honest, but I'm speaking specifically to certain people today who keep getting stuck in certain places because of one of these three reasons, or all three of these reasons. Just try it. And I'm saying this to you because I want you to grow. I want you to move past where you've been stuck, because I've been there. And technically, I'm talking to my old self who used to struggle in these areas. I'm not necessarily talking to you. I am and I'm not. I'm talking to Jermaine 20 years ago. That's why you took so long to get here, and here, because all that negative stuff that you had in your mind about your own playing. So let me know in the comments if this video has been helpful to you. If you still need more assistance because you're like, Jermaine, I hear everything you're saying, but bro, I need some help. I got you. JermaineMorgan.net. I have a ton of courses. I maybe put some at the end of this video where you can kind of get to my shop page and just see what I have available. Tons of instructional videos as well as monthly membership lessons catered to helping you with these ABCs, if you will, of music and trying to figure it out. Because if you are a beginner, yeah, you got a big mountain to climb, so to speak. But you're not doing it alone. There is help out there. I can help you if you want my help. If my teaching fits you, I'll be more than happy to help you along the way in your journey with the instructionals and the things that I've already provided as tools and resources to help you. I just ask, when you get it, just do the work. No excuses. All right, guys. Again, this is Jermaine Morgan. I appreciate you for watching this video, and I hope that this has been helpful, and I hope that it will be life-changing for you in your quest to be a phenomenal musician that I know you're going to be. So let me know again in the comments what you found helpful. Let me know if you're, you feeling froggy and you want to let me know in the comments which one was the one you struggled with the most, or the one you currently struggle with the most, if not all three. Let me know in the comments. Let's have some dialogue about it, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.